A spectacular view of an iridescent cloud. Dude, that's where the Care Bears live. My mom, when I opened up a bag of candy in the backseat of the car, it has 4 colors. It's the world's best pen. Fidgety click click. There is also red and black. Yeah, this is the best pen. People think this chef is good, but he's got nothing on this man. I don't give a damn how old I am. Hold my shoes. They need to make this but for adults. You're 7 years old and you just woke up during the late night road trip. So instead of getting out of your bed like a normal person, you're going to stretch over to grab the thing you really want. Nobody. Humans in Tom and Jerry, you'll never see their face. Switching from a pencil to a pen was a big deal. Yeah, my primary school, we had a pen license. I was the first person to get my pen license. We used to slap this poor cat for no reason. Nah, him and Talking Angela were weird. We had the best scale in our childhood. Other people after using a pen all day. Me, after holding a pen for 10 seconds. You're too young if you don't know this video. Other people's dustbin versus my dustbin. When I had a backpack, I never really used this area. Nice, my marble is in first place. I will win for sure. Kids today could never. I remember they banned these in school because it was that serious. Worst memory of my school life. Best childhood memory. The amount of slime guys would give you when you asked to play with some of theirs in elementary. I got flung off at Mach 3 years old. I was always too scared to go on these when people would push it really fast. Childhood trauma. You're so wise for your age. You have such good reflexes. 7-year-old me watching this show and thinking I could do all the obstacles easily. Ever did this in your childhood? Yep. It always hurt, but like a good type of hurt. Hair holds memories. No wonder I'm so forgetful. You should just eat your memories so you gain them back. How about this for a cross-generational collab? TV at 3 a.m. in the 90s be like, sold over 20 million records. This is just 9-inch nails. How it felt watching my mum cry about how I ruined her life at the ripe age of 8. This palette is called Overcooked Vegetables, the colors of the 1970s. This floor meant you were somewhere fun, my friend. The hardest puzzle to solve is the Rubik's Cube. Me, an intellectual. How others write. Temp with a line richer. How I write. Temperature going down the paper. We ain't the same, bro. Who else remembers these Tupper Toys stencils? How I thought my Play-Doh would look like after mixing all those colors together. Does everyone understand? One kid says yes, so we're moving on now. Great. Believe me, all of these are in this small house. This is so true. Ghost grabbing zone. Safe zone. Then versus now. How I imagine my father when he was a child. I wonder if we would have been friends. Who else did this in childhood? Turning your pen into a plane. But I never added the pen lids at the end of the ruler. We played with these to train for this. Same feeling, different age. Stickers at the doctor's/dentist's office. You got too big to fit in this chair. Zoned out in 7th grade, and Loki never really zoned back in. I always thought it was a silly toy. Little did I know it would come so in handy. Me forcing people to make pinky promises because I still take it seriously. It's like when people swear on their mother's life. If you don't actually swear on that, you don't mean it, you're a horrible person. Or you hate your mum. Why are there straps on his legs? I'm laughing so hard. Power to the main thrusters. All systems a go. Turbo poop. But he's still wearing his pants. Pants aren't an issue when you're quantum pooping through the 9th dimension. There's a special place in hell for people who do/did this in school. Mice don't make holes like these anymore. I know, they've went away. Finally, a piggy bank the size of my savings. Fidget spinners are out. These are in. My fingers got pinched just looking at this picture. Do you guys remember these dinosaurs which would inflate in water? They were cool. Don't complain about your research project. This was my Google. Texting in the 80s style. 5-year-old me, after trying my parents' toothpaste instead of my strawberry lightning McQueen toothpaste. Are we the only ones that make these out of popped balloons and squeak it against our teeth? Hiding in these as a kid, and your parents would never find you. This generation has a nice looking plane movie, while our generation found entertainment through this manufactured horror. If you did this, your childhood was awesome. Your childhood was awesome, and you're also a monkey. You were a monkey as a kid. I had a friend like this, actually. Whenever I would go around his house, he was climbing up his door frames, climbing his fridge. And you know what he did when he was doing this? He was always naked. He was always naked. The world we grew up in no longer exists. Real ones know the fear. No more tears. Johnson's baby shampoo. Why are you drinking out of that? It doesn't mean literally no more tears. In the 80s, a hamburger would ring and we would just answer it without even knowing who it was. My neighbors were throwing this out yesterday on their curb. They were throwing this out. See, I'm not old. I don't get this. I would have thrown this out too. What the hell is this? When I was a kid, we didn't have fun play places. We had McJail, and they'd only feed you McDonald's. How guys you genuinely never knew existed be posted up in 7 in the morning, the picosecond you open a bag of chips in the middle of class. Before Crocs, we had these. I would not fit into these. Growing up in the wood grain era. Yeah, I don't really like the wood grain era. Okay, this may sound crazy, but hear me out. As long as this is not directly above my head, because I'm not trying to get burnt this way. Kids today will never know the struggle of having 2 VHS tapes to watch Titanic. A single frame of animation cannot make an entire generation sing an entire song no one knew they all had memorized. Challenge accepted. When I'm at bro's house and I find an absolute diabolical childhood photo of him, I don't have 2 wolves inside me. I have these guys. Honestly thinking about buying a toy. Not sure though. Nothing is set in stone. Buy whatever toy you want. Only OGs remember what these were. To everyone who compares stepping on a Lego to death, they've never stepped on a Barbie brush. Mum, Mark got into med school, Jim went to Mars, and Gary made an app for dogs. What did you ever accomplish? Me? I did this game and I played it well. That deserves something, right? Before Wikipedia, we had these bad boys. I have a vivid memory of me reading the space exploration one. What the school nurse be doing? Oh, you've broken your arm? Let's see if an ice pack or a plaster will help it. These used to hit so hard back in the day. I don't want to party like it's 1999. I want to go grocery shopping like it's 1999. She loves me. They love me. I love me. Buster is a true advocate for confidence and self-love. Thank you for making our childhood awesome. Who had Polly Pockets? I would really like to chew that purple jacket right about now. 50-year-old Optimus Prime messes up his back transforming. There is a whole generation of kids right now that have no idea what these are. Remember those days when we had to sit on this plank of wood to get a haircut? Wait, I never had to do this. I'd have to sit on a booster seat though. A plank of wood? You think kids today are stressed? We played with stress. Where were these 9 years ago? All I wanted was decent skin colors. Do you know how many orange people I had Crayola do? Teachers in the 5th to 8th grade. That's not gonna slide in high school. That's stuff in high school. It actually slides more in high school because the teachers aren't paying as much attention to you. When I'm arguing with people on Roblox, like they aren't 5 years old, me nervously clicking my pen during the test. That one guy in the class who knows Morse code trying to understand why I want to invade Cuba. Tarot reading since age 6. This is what started tarot reading. This is probably what started prophecies. I think the most popular drawing as a kid is either that stupid sun at the top right or a stick man. It's back when Apple used to care about us. Now they give us our phone and basically tell us to sod off. We may be cut from the same cloth, but I was cut with these. I remember these scissors. They were cool. I hated using them though. Please do this with my remains and then pour it out. Okay. Stack of shuffled post-it notes. They're perfectly merged together. 6-year-old me showing my mum the useless toy I want her to buy me, knowing I'll forget about its existence after 3 hours. Yeah, but mum would buy it because she knows it would make you happy. That's what it's about. Most things become useless after a certain amount of time. 4-year-old me testing my parents' toothpaste instead of my princess one. Why did they make older people's toothpaste taste worse than children's toothpaste? Why is that a thing? Do they just do it because every adult should need to suffer? Like what? 6-year-old me after sucking the bath water out of a washcloth. Just you, bro. I never actually did this. If you did this, your childhood was awesome. Yeah, and it would hurt. It would hurt like crazy. Throw back to when I was a doctor. I haven't been a doctor in many, many years. Looks like my neighbors put their Christmas display up early this year. They should make Flintstones-shaped Tums for all of us now. I thought this was soap. Being a guy is not easy. You turn 12 years old and now you're competing with CEOs, bankers, and politicians for girls your age. Kids don't play with fireworks. Let the adults who have been drinking all day set them off. How the teacher looks at me after asking, "How's your work going?" And I say, "Good," as we both stare at a blank page. Them, "Don't be scared, it's just a kid's movie." The kid's movie? When your mum, who had no business cutting your hair, decided to cut your hair when you were a kid. 8-year-old me outside my parents' room at 7 a.m. on Christmas morning. I must unwrap my presents this instant. Did parents in the 70s, 80s, 90s really allow their kids to roam freely? Or is that just a portrayal seen in movies? An underreported reason people are having fewer and fewer kids. Now we're expecting to watch them 24/7. Or at least in the summer, my mum got 10 plus hours a day free from me while I crawled around in ditches. I can feel it ripping my arm hairs. I'm this old. Do you remember when we couldn't wait to get our books and see who all used to have it? The good old days. And you wouldn't recognize any of the names. Everybody became a DJ when it came to scratching these planners. Since we're starting to become more environmentally savvy and ditching plastic straws, may I recommend bringing these bad boys back? Clear and translucent products from the 90s/early 2000s. One time, Matt Damon guest starred on Arthur and he looked horrifying. So should we draw Matt as a human or as an aardvark? Yes. How friends explain math versus how teachers explain math. Older siblings, creating trust issues since forever. I felt so cool after getting a top like this. Chemistry ain't nothing like Royal High Chemistry. In my day, we had to stand to play video games. Seeing your childhood photos be like childhood memories. How I used to draw fish and birds. But who remembers this toy? This was so fun. How could I forget? In the day, your clothes are on your bed, you've taken them off your chair. In the nighttime, you do the exact opposite. I will never be too old for this. I know. Predicting the comeback of these shorts from 2007. Did you have this exact food coloring? These guys never survive one whole drink. I'm this old. I'm not this old, I guess. When these little things came out, I thought I was living in the year 3000. One day you rode in this cart for the last time. I'm gonna make sure to find one of these soon in primary school. Can I play? Me. I don't know. It's not my game. Sorry. Do people do this in America? Definitely did this in the UK. Remember doing this? No, I don't remember putting my hand on uncooked rice. Nobody. 10-year-old me looking at things. So if I close my left eye, shouting, "Good morning, Miss Two-syllable teacher's name" in primary. My name was really good for teachers to shout at. Jonathan! That's like 3 syllables. Jonathan. Jonathan! 6-year-old me and my homemade rocket ship. The person I like versus my flirting scores. What? This was the hardest thing to draw in maths. It still is the hardest thing to draw. If you ever made these in your childhood, then your childhood was awesome. This is like origami. I sucked at this. I could not make these. I would just make trash paper airplanes and throw them at people. Telling my one-night stand to pick up a special prize before leaving. I'm taking that basketball. Thank you, POV. This was your childhood. I loved Fruit Ninja. Do people still play it? The original Smartboard. What is she signing? A, B, is she publicly marking people's grades? Oh, damn. Well, usually you hide that. 9-year-old me seeing a letter in maths. 16-year-old me seeing a number in maths. So that's why I turned out like this. It all makes sense now. We all fell for this. Anybody else fascinated by this as a kid? Define as a kid. The OG Glover. How old are you? Me. The default wallpaper. And those speakers. I didn't actually play Solitaire or any of those like games on the PC. Which plate design did your Midwest home have? Nanny. My nanny had. I think she had. I think the closest would be number 5. Who can it be now? This is a reference I don't get. All the baddies had one of these growing up. A detangler? Yes, sir. If you remember, I will personally hand you a certificate of good childhood toast. How many of you ate slate pencils in your childhood? I've never ever seen a slate pencil before, or thought about eating one of them because I've never seen them. This was one of the best joys in childhood. Finish this drawing. So they drew... What did they even drew? Jackie Chan was a childhood hero. Did he perform all of his own stunts? I don't think so. Star in many movies? Yes. Disown his daughter for being gay. Ski with a broken foot. These things we were never allowed to use. Oh, we were allowed to use these, just not when teachers were looking. We always used these. In my primary school, we actually had a specific day on Thursday where they would have these, but they were 2 times the size, maybe even 3 times. The gym was huge, and there'd be mats on the floor, and we'd be allowed to climb up them. We were obviously supervised, but that was such a fun time. I don't know why they allowed us to do that. That's insane. I guess it's just to like get off the energy. And no one actually got hurt. We would play games like tag or it, and the last person to be it would be out, like bomb, I guess, and then yeah. Oh, I didn't really watch slime video. Oh no, I did. I have a memory of me trying this. No, you're right. And there was one core ingredient I was missing. There was always one ingredient. I also remember trying to make oobleck. That never worked. And I remember watching videos calling like the boss babe. I was such a kid. I mean, I was a kid. I was such a kid. That's why I can't get annoyed at kids for watching that type of stuff. I don't blame them. Back in the day, those videos used to hit. They were so entertaining.